Hi Vapors, this is Rich with Rich Vaping. Pretty sure the title up here tells a story. I'll be going over the eVic tonight, whatever, wherever you are. I am in Florida, so it is nighttime and hot. So anyway, like I said, going over the eVic today, and I guess we can get started. So, here I am in Tampa, Florida. Gotta love it. Gotta love Mountain Dew as well. Anywho, going over a mod I picked up not too terribly long ago. I'm pretty much like everybody else. I started out with, the regular cigarette looking things called, I got mine from White Cloud. eJoy came out with them, a few others came out with them. Next thing I did, I went to the Egos. I forget which Ego, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever the Ego it was when it started. Left the vapor world for a little while. And the new hospital I'm working at now, I cannot smoke, which is kind of a bummer, but whatever. So I went back to vaping. Well, you know, flash forward a couple of years, and vaping has completely changed, like, dramatically. Made a few connections with a few people out there, a few people in the vape world, just to see what was going on, what was the story. Yeah, people like Brasado or Grim Green, those guys, doing a fantastic job out there. So anyway, so I wanted to get into mods. Well, the first mod I got, of course, was a variable voltage, kind of an ego thing. You know, the twist, not bad. But anywho, that's not what we're talking about today, and I digress. I am here talking about the eVic. I'm going to put some times down below here somewhere about where along in the film, the video that certain things are going to be, because I'm going to separate it up. I know that you guys probably have your own specific things you're looking for. I know I did when I first started looking at these things. I'll have sort of a kind of makeshift unboxing, sort of, kind of, maybe not so much. Just look at the box because it's so damn pretty. I'll also have specs info on this guy, as well as a teardown and sort of disassembly, reassembly, and going over some of the cardos and tanks and whatnot you can put on this guy. Anyway, look down below for that, and I'll put the times down there so you can fast forward to my beautiful look. Yes, I am a Mighty Mouse fan, by the way. Anywho, let's get started. First thing first is the unboxing. Let me put this right here. You don't see this? There's nothing behind the curtain. Nothing behind the curtain. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Look at that. That's awesome. Okay, this is the eVic. Kind of looks a lot like, oh, I don't know, maybe a fruit type product that's out there that I think somebody's stealing the ideas off of. Which I think I'm not the first person to say that. Cheers. Apparently everybody's saying that. Everybody except my mother. My mother knows nothing about this. It's not bad, but the packaging's phenomenal. And for the product you're getting, and the amount of time that they've been in the business, I mean, they've been in there for, Joytech's been there for a while. I wouldn't expect a whole lot less, honestly. Let's see, the box basically is all black, very slick, with a nice picture on the front. On the back, of course, it says package contents, one eVic control head, a battery tube, a rechargeable 2600 mAh battery, mAh, MAH, whatever you want to call it, eVic USB cable, a eVic wall adapter, the eVic manual, and a AVR manual. And it has a sticker, which most assuredly is covering up something else that I'm missing. Anywho, Alright, so by the way, I'm going to go a little bit further in depth with this when I go over the teardown. Anywho, it comes with a vapor record. Not really sure what. Has this thing been arrested? Apparently, there's something you can do online. That's great. It comes with a user manual, which is phenomenal, which is you may need. 20,000 King Kong. I can't read that. No offense to my my Asian viewers, but I can't read it. That's Spanish. It's, I don't know. Anywho, so you get a nice thick user manual. It's probably about 5 pages worth of material you'll read in the other 50,000 pages or other languages. Then you will get the device itself. Underneath that, of course, you'll get a power cable and an adapter and all that stuff for the wall. And I don't have those because they're plugged into my kitchen and they're currently charging up stuff. Plus, you'll get a couple boxes in here with I don't know what this is. Oh, cool. Yeah, there's one of them right there. Yeah, I have a lot of these floating around. If you've been vaping for any length of time, you probably got 50 of these things where you plug in the wall adapter and you stick the USB in there. Anywho, yeah, cords, all that fun stuff. That's great. Anywho, I will talk about that later. Anyway, so what you get is you get this nifty little mod right here. The mod itself comes with an 18650 battery, and I believe, like I said, it was a 2600 milliamp or mAh battery, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. Yes, it is a Samsung RCR 1865 26 milliamp battery. It's pink, so I'm really glad it's not like the Tesla or whatever it is, so it'd be showing through, because then it'd look like, you know. Yeah. Anywho, so the battery slides in there, kind of convenient because that's what the size is for. You just plug this bad boy in, and for the most part, you don't really ever have to take this bad boy out. And of course, I'll break it down further later on in the video. Anyway, just like any other mod, you click the bad boy 5 times, and it pops on, and you'll notice there's no buttons here, which is odd. Most of the devices I've seen have buttons. Of course, most of the devices I've seen don't have like this TV thing going on in the front either. This nifty little thing. Well, there's one button right there, which is the push me, I light up and blow smoke in your face button. But then there's nothing else, for the most part. See, when you come on with this thing, you see this little round thingy here? Well, you can move that this way or that way. And when you do that, it moves the little stuff in there. I don't know if it's moving or not. I'm not sure. Yes, it is. That's awesome. Anywho, so you raise and lower the volts that way. Now, obviously, I'll go through something a little more in depth a little bit later on menus and whatnot. As it stands for right now, just give you my basic opinion on it, and then I can break it down for you a little bit later on. So to give you an idea on how it vapes. By the way, I do got to show you this. It does have a little connector thing here, which if you have no fingernails, sucks to get open to put the little USB cable, but you have to grow your fingernails specifically for this, so manicures are now going to be a permanent part of your life. So you pull this little door out, and it has a USB thing where you pop the little USB cable, and I believe most USB cables that are mini USBs for most phones, I guess, will work for this. So not only do you have a ton of vapor shit, now you've also got a ton of stuff from your phones that also work for it. We're consolidating into just one big pile of mess. Anywho, so you can toss a lot of the cables and use, you know, one main cable, I guess. I guess is the point of that discussion. Anywho, as far as vaping, I'm just going to throw a quick tank on this bad boy. This is a tank I got. I got to review it a little bit later on from Clouds of Vapor. I got it from Bruce. I'm going to have to do a review on it later on. Really groovy tank. It's got a boat atomizer in there anyway. Low resistance, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it screws on. It has a 510 connector in there. So it screws on just like any other 510 adapting device type thing. And immediately it shows, immediately it will show one thing. You'll see the little numbers here, right? Well, when you screw this little bad boy on, as such, big table, you'll notice it gives the ohms of the cartomizer, which is bloody terrific. I'm pretty excited about that. So you have an idea where you want to kind of set your device. Well, when you initially turn it on, it will also do that, but then give you a suggestion of what voltage or whatnot you need to run it on to get the atomizer to perform the absolute shittiest it could possibly perform. But at least it gives you a kick and off start where to start your voltage journey. Anywho, it performs pretty damn well. It's got plenty of airflow. I know there's some issues about airflow on some of these things, but there's room, and even if it was flush against the side there, there's 4 air holes that work with it. So again, the button's back here. Just get a toke here. It's good stuff. The vape's pretty good. I like it. It's one of those things, it's like your mod is kind of your personal thing. If you like it, if you dig it, whether it be a variable voltage, just a straight battery mod, or you know, just a typical ego battery, it's your personal thing. Me personally, I like mods. I like the size of them. As doing what I do for a living, I can't have this big monster sitting in my scrubs all day long. They would fall out during emergency CPR or something like that, I'm sure. So I have to have smaller, and I carry the little egos. I really do. I love those little things. And I have a variable voltage twist that I carry with me at work. But then this guy comes out on breaks and on when I'm out and about. I personally, I like it. I have no complaints. Other than the fact that there's one complaint I have. I have no complaints. There's one complaint I have. Anyway, edit, delete. I do have one complaint. This little knobby thing here, little twisty twist thing right here, gets stuck. And when I say get stuck, I don't mean that when you turn it over there, it stays there and you got to pry it back with a crowbar to get it to come back. No, when you'll push it over there, it will fly back because it's spring loaded, but it will still keep rolling through, like roll around down the river. So I don't understand how that happened, but if you kick it back the other way, it stops it. So the little switch, electronic switch or something in there sticks, and a little springy device thing obviously doesn't springy back into its thing and fix that. So occasionally it happens. It doesn't happen very often, but occasionally it does. But it's a fantastic device. I think these go for, on average, probably about 100 to 104. I bought my local and it was like 120 bucks. I figured for the time saved and the shipping and whatnot, it was worth it. Anywho, I think I'm going to go ahead and move into basically tearing it down and showing you what the innards look like. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, sorry about that. I had to charge up my battery. Not on the eVic, but on the camera right here. Anywho, so how does this thing work? Well, there's a couple things here. Let me go ahead and go over this a little bit with you. Here's a screen of the eVic. Here's the little doobie-dabby thing that I'm not really particularly fond of, but it works. So, it's 5 clicks on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Glad you guys saw it. Sometimes it does take a little longer, but yeah, anyway, you click until it comes on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. See how many clicks? Did you count that? Anyway, all right, so you have power on, hit power on, and there it goes, Joy eVic. You get the date and time and the calendar, and you get no atomizer found, but it's recommended you do 5.2 watts on no atomizer at all. So if you want to vape air, you want to run it at 5.2 watts. Anywho, all right, so the menu system is pretty good. The moving system here is this little wheelie right here, whereas you can go up and down with this guy here, and volts and watts, which I'll show you watts here momentarily. All right, so 5 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, puts you into the menu. You have sleep, it's kind of self-explanatory. You have, oops, sorry. You have power off, again, kind of self-explanatory. You have vapor set. Now, vapor set is, let me see here. So we get this in here. Here we go. Vapor set is if you want to do battery. I'm not really sure what that does, but you have switch. And switch is good because switch goes between volts, variable volts, and variable wattage. So if you want to go to wattage, you just hit that and voila, you're in wattage. Then you have to go through a bunch of exits to get back to it. So you go exit, you go down again, da-da-da-da-da, and exit. And guess what? Now you're in watts, which I'm at 5.2 watts. So I can vape air now, which is good. That's some handy shit right there. All right, so back into the menu system. All right, so from here we go to standby mode. Now, standby mode is when the system shuts off. Like if you haven't vaped, you set the thing down for a little bit and you want to let it to go into standby mode. That leaves it however long. It will sit there with an atomizer on it and just sit there all pretty until it shuts off, and you got to click it 5 times to get it to come back on. So, so here, that's what that guy is. There we are. Now, also, there's also sitting there for the screen and the whole system. So, like my screen shuts off at 15 seconds. Sorry, let me let this go and clear out of there. You know what, let me just do this. Let me just run up to 15 seconds. There we go. My system shuts off in 5 minutes. So if I go without vaping this bad boy for 5 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will have to return back on for me to go vapity. So that's good. I mean, it's a power saver, I guess. All right, you can go, you know, a whole bunch of different ones here. Let's see, this is 60 minutes. So you can go an hour, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, which is what I have it on, and you're good. Anywho, exit. Next thing you have is calendar, because who doesn't need a calendar in their vaping machine? I mean, really, you forget the phone, forget everything else, you got a calendar right here in your hand. The next thing you get is puff info. Now, puff info tells you how many puffs you can take, which is bloody ridiculous, because if you put it to 20 puffs, you'll be kicking yourself and throwing this thing against the wall, trying to get it to restart to keep puffing away. So generally with that one, oops, sorry, I will set that bad boy to 0 puffs, and at that point it will just let you continually puff. Anywho, so the next one is reset puffs. Now that is to reset puffs since you've restarted the system, and I've done that already, so that's good. Total puffs is the amount of puffs you've taken on this thing since you got it. Now I've used this bad boy apparently a lot. I had no idea since I got it, so you know I've tested it pretty well. All right, and the next thing of course is exit. So it's a pretty. I got to show you the calendar because the calendar is just funny. There it is. Let's see. Show time, show date, set year, exit. Let's see here. Set date, show time. Here we go. Voila. Isn't that lovely? Today, by the way, is the 17th. Not really. Today is the 16th. Tomorrow is the 17th. I think I screwed up on this. Tomorrow is... Well, wait a minute. This is on Sunday, so maybe it's a day ahead. So, Sunday will be St. Patrick's Day, and of course, me being Irish, is a national holiday. Anywho, so basically, it's fairly easy to get around. The problem is, you got to do this with it, and device. Click that right there. There we go. Atomizer. You get your temperature, user info, series number, Here we go. Version. Here we go. And this is a 1.1 version. So, let me see here. User info. I didn't really do that. Here's your temperature it runs. Current is, please insert atomizer. Oh, let's blur this on there. Got to show you the full experience of this bad boy. There we go. I inserted an atomizer. Alright, current temperature 33 degrees Celsius. Fantastic. Alarm temperature. You can set this to alarm if it goes over the whatever, you know, whatever degree or Celsius or whatever. Which I'm not sure what the alarm sounds like, and I don't know if I really want to know. Also the atomizer, if you want to check your atomizer without putting it off and on, you can do that, and there's your atomizer right there, 2.2 ohms detected. And it does not give you a recommended voltage, so you can get really shitty vaping out of. Anywho, if you want to get out of this little screeny thing here, you've got to hit this button more. There you go. Exit. Oh, one more time. And exit. There you go. And then you got to click it a bunch of times to get it to go. Oh, wait. Power on. Really? Yeah, we know. There we go. Atomizer detected. Recommended power 5.2, which is kind of funny because I'm running 5.2 watt. Oh, wait, that's my wattage I'm doing. Never mind. Don't mind me. Anyway, so it's running 5.2. Now, here's a cool thing. When you hit the little button, it will tell you how long you're holding that vapor button for, which is kind of cool. I average between 4 to 6 seconds per vape, depending on what kind of patients I have in the ER that day, who's getting on my nerves and why. But all in all, I mean, it's a fairly, you see the little power thing right here as well. There's a power thing as well as number of vapes. See when I hit the vape there, you'll see I have 2 vapes, two puffs. And it will keep track of those puffs. Underneath it will tell you how many puffs you have left on this amount of battery at that wattage. Now if I jump the wattage up, watch that number change. See there? So when I go to my wattage, which is my favorite, or roughly 10-ish. Here we go, that's good. See, this is what I hate about this. Okay, one day. Okay, so 10 watts. I have 305 puffs left with 50% battery. That's pretty kick-ass. Wait, speaking of which, let me lower that down a little bit. Oh, yeah. Anywho, so now it's showing 304. Go figure. So, anyway, but that's basically a rundown of the menu system on this. It's pretty basic. A lot of guys go really in depth with it, but I just don't care that much to do that. So anyway, all right, moving on. Okay, so basically that's how that is put together. That says taken apart. It's pretty cool that you'd never have to take the battery out. You just basically just plug it in the side of it. It does have a computer program you can use to keep track of your puffs. I'm not really sure why anybody would want to keep track of their puffs unless they're trying to cut down their puffage, I guess, or they're trying to have a puffage competition. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it keeps track of your puffs, and it tells you on what day you puff the most and what days you puff less. So, yeah. Anyway, it tells you a whole bunch of other stuff, what you know, the voltage and all this other stuff I think is on there as well. Anywho, would I suggest this device? Yes, I would suggest it for one reason. I would suggest it as the first mod someone gets, kind of like mine, because of ease of use. Mods are one of those things that you want to get 1 or 2 of every one you see, regardless of what reviewer is saying what. If it looks pretty, you want it. And I know most vapors have like lines of them, like all the way across, and that's cool. I'm all for that. However, you know, you got to start somewhere, and it's a good place to start. Okay, it's a great place to start. So, you know, it gets you in tune with it. Some of the things I don't like about this, and I'll be very upfront with it, is the voltage range sucks. It goes from 3 volts to 5 volts, and from I think 3 ohms or power to 11. And while it doesn't sound like a big deal, depending on what kind of atomizer you're using, what type of resistance you're using, it can blow. I mean, it really does blow. And part of the reason you want to get a variable voltage mod is so you can take that sucker and kick it up some. You know, the voltage range, it sucks. I mean, I guess it's the same as a lot of them out there. A lot of them are only going to 5 volts. But you can get another device such as a Vamo, which is cheaper. It has more range on the ability to kick the volts up and kick the ohm or power up than this guy does, and it's cheaper. I mean, but this has a factor of how it looks. This has a factor of the good weight. It has a factor of this texture to the handle. I mean, it's not a really good texture, but it's not going to slide into your hands. I know Basardo does a thing where you like see this thing and it's, no, this doesn't really slide out of your hand so much. It's kind of skinny to me. I have big hands. I'm kind of a bigger guy. Can you tell? So it's kind of small. So I mean, I kind of wish there was some type of a device or some type of thing that would make it thicker, so thicker to hold, thicker to to vape on. But there's not yet. I'm sure there'll be some leather thing come out or some fancy thing and they slide it in it. You just puff over it. No, you didn't see that. But there's not yet. So I mean, is it a good starter? Yes. Would I suggest it? Yes. Should it be your main mod? Entirely up to you. Is it my main mod? No. I have other mods that I've picked up recently. I was on the horn or on the email with a couple people, Grim Green being one of them, asking their opinion on what would be a good mod to pick up, and he gave me 2, which I'll let him tell you to go over that with you guys. Not my place to do that. So I've picked up those guys as well, and I'm obviously going to do something. This guy I've had for several weeks now. And I wanted to do at least 4 weeks before I did a review on it or my take on it. And you know what? The bloody thing's not scratched up. It's not dented. It's not nothing. It looks like the day I took it out of the package, which is phenomenal. Oh, one more thing I forgot to show you. Here it is with a tank. Let me. Right. The damn thing shuts off sometimes, so you got to actually kick it back on. There is a way to go in there and. Oh, by the way, you got to power it on. There we go. Which obviously covered, but whatever. Recommended power 5.2 watts. I'm running 5.1 volt. Go figure. Which I have no bloody clue what the heck that is. By the way, this is version 2, I think, 1.2 or something like that. I know there's some software updates on it. Anyway, let me get a puff. Some guys can do the smoke rings. I come out with triangles and shit. I can't do it. Anywho, give you a quick thing on tank. Here's an Ego top, which I find to be rather handy at work because it's direct in the atomizer and it's a fairly decent vape, and that sucker goes right on there pretty well, and it doesn't look too terribly bad, honestly. It's not too bad. You can actually put like a regular Bogue Cardo or something in there, leave this guy out, just put this guy on top of it, and it looks good. Just a drip tip. Drip tip on there. Anywho, then of course you've got your, Stardust, your whatever you want to call them. I guess they're Stardust. Anyway, those guys fit on there as well because it has the Ego. Obviously, it fits on there. It has the Ego things on there. So, here's one other thing real quick before I go that I don't dig about this thing. I guess because of the connection that it makes with the battery underneath there, this guy, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. Yeah. Kind of like the Leaning Tower of Cardo. I mean, really, it's like, it's kind of loose in there, and I'm not digging that very much. And I tried taking this guy off here. And, you know, and it's still, you know, it doesn't, still moves. Well, wait. It still kind of does its thing. Anywho, I digress. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ego, I'm sorry, the eVic. If you have any questions, whatever, or want to make comments about how bad I am, and, you know, if I stink or something like that, leave comments down below. And till then, we will see you next time. Have a good one.